Peace. What is up, everyone? I am OnenO. Thanks for tuning in to week number 8 of the Course in Miracles. Today we got a new formula going on, so without further ado, let's jump into it. Welcome back once again. I am OnenO. We are going through the Course in Miracles. We're on week number 8. Today we have lesson number 50, and then starting with lesson 51, I'm actually doing 10 days of review. So I'm going back over all 50 previous lessons, 5 lessons at a time. So for today, we will be reviewing lessons 1 through 30 very, very briefly, but the idea is just to sink them back into our awareness one more time before we continue on, starting at lesson 60 with new ideas. So let's jump straight in. Lesson number 50 is the last lesson of these of the new thoughts. Lesson number 50 is I am sustained by the love of God. It says, here is the answer to every problem that will confront you today, tomorrow, and throughout time. You are sustained by God, not by any external means, not by any other sources. You are simply sustained by God, which is the grounds for trust and the grounds for love and abundance in your life. Okay, so now we're going to jump into the review. And instead of reviewing every single lesson that we've already discussed, I'm just going to review the ones that really stick out to me as we go through this very short recap of lessons 1 through 30. So lesson number 1, nothing I see means anything. Remember, the distinction that is being made is that when we are looking at things, we say that we see them, but in fact, I am labeling them, giving them meaning, and some of my meanings can be off. So, nothing I see means anything. Lesson 2, I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I'll read a little bit of this one. I have judged everything I looked upon, and it is this and only this that I see. This is not vision. It is merely an illusion of reality because my judgments have been made quite apart from reality. Lesson number 3, I do not understand anything I see. Lesson number 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. Lesson 5, I am never upset for the reason I think. I want to read this one. I am never upset for the reason I think because I am constantly trying to justify my thoughts. I am constantly trying to make them true. I make all things my enemies so that my anger is justified and my attack thoughts are warranted. I have not realized how much I have misused everything I see by assigning this role to it. I have done this to defend a thought system that hurts me, that I no longer want. I am willing to let it go. Lesson 6. I am upset because I see what is not there. One sentence here says, when I am upset, it is always because I have replaced reality with the illusions I made up. Lesson 7, I see only the past. These are my illusions, the ideas of what's happened in my past. When I'm standing in my present moment and I treat my present moment based on my past, that's me behaving as if the illusion is real. Lesson 8, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I preoccupy my mind with the past or with the future to avoid my present moment. And that is detrimental to my peace, for the present moment is the only place I'll find peace. Lesson 9, I see nothing as it is now. Lesson 10, my thoughts do not mean anything. Lesson 11, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Lesson 12, I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Insane thoughts are upsetting. They produce a world in which there is no order. Only chaos rules a world that represents chaotic thinking, and chaos has no laws. I cannot live in peace in such a world. I am grateful that this world is not real and that I need not see it at all unless I choose to value it, and I do not choose to value what is totally insane and has no meaning. Lesson 13. A meaningless world engenders fear. Lesson 14. God did not create a meaningless world. Lesson 15. My thoughts are images that I have made. Lesson 16. I have no neutral thoughts. Let me read a little bit of this one. All thoughts have power. They will either make a false world or lead me to the real one. As the world I see arises from my thinking errors, so will the real world rise before my eyes as I let my errors be corrected. Lesson 17. I see no neutral thoughts. If I did not think, I would not exist, because life is a thought. Let me look on the world I see as a representation of my own state of mind. When I open my eyes and look at the world, what I am really looking at in this mirrored reality, this reflected reality, is the state of my mind. That's what the world reflects back to me. Lesson 18. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. Lesson 19. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. Everything I think, say, or do teaches the entire universe. Lesson number 20. I am determined to see. What it's saying here is that if I was to see the world correctly, I could actually find witnesses that will teach me about my holiness versus witnesses that will continue to teach me about the illusion of separation and to teach me about how I am not divine. This is an illusion. Lesson 21. I am determined to see things differently. Let me read this one. What I see now are but signs of disaster, disease, and death. This cannot be what God created for His beloved Son. The very fact that I see such things is proof that I do not understand God. What I see tells me that I do not know who I am. I am determined to see the witnesses to the truth in me rather than those which show me an illusion of myself. Lesson 22. What I see is a form of vengeance. The world I see is hardly the representation of loving thoughts. It is a picture of attack on everything by everything. But my loving thoughts will save me from this perception of the world and give me the peace God intended me to have. Lesson 23. I can escape from this world by giving up my attack thoughts. And this is an important lesson. At this lesson, we actually reach a huge turning point because it mentions the word forgiveness for the first time. It says right here, as forgiveness allows love to return to my awareness, I will see a world of peace and safety and joy. I must be in a place of forgiveness in order to allow the awareness of love to come back to me. In order for love to re-enter my world, my awareness, I must begin with forgiveness. Lesson 24. I do not perceive my own best interest. How could I perceive my own best interests when I do not know who I am? I am a divine child of the Creator, and if I do not know that, then I do not know who I am. And if I do not recognize who I am, I cannot know what my best interests are. Lesson 25. I do not know what anything is for. To me, the purpose of everything is to prove that my illusions about myself are real. That's what the ego says. Look out on the world and find the proof that back up the illusions the ego is constantly spinning. And last 5 lessons. Lesson 26. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. How can I know who I am when I see myself as under constant attack? Pain, illness, loss, age, and death seem to threaten me. All of my hopes and wishes and plans appear to be at the mercy of a world I cannot control. Lesson 27. Above all else, I want to see. Recognizing that what I see reflects what I think I am, I realize that vision is my greatest need. Vision. Seeing the world as it is, not as I am projecting it to be based on my past. Lesson 28. Above all else, I want to see differently. The world I see holds my fearful image in place and guarantees its continuance. Lesson 29. God is in everything I see. Behind every image I have made, the truth remains unchanged. Behind every veil I have drawn across the face of love, its light remains undimmed. God is still everywhere and in everything. And we who are a part of Him will yet look past all appearances and recognize the truth beyond them all. Last lesson of today, lesson 30. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. In my own mind, behind all of my insane thoughts of separation and attack, is the knowledge that all is one forever. I have not lost the knowledge of who I am because I have forgotten it. It has been kept for me in the mind of God, who has not left His thoughts. And I, who am among them, His thoughts, am one with Him and one with His thoughts. I kind of butchered that last sentence, but you got the point. I, who am among His thoughts, God's thoughts, am one with them and am one with Him. All right, that's where we wrap it up. Thanks for going on the long video this week around. Please let me know your thoughts on this whole subject. Leave a comment down below or go to the website at amoneno.com and leave a comment on the blog or send me a message on the contacts page. This is definitely a very interesting journey that I am on, and I am just starting to realize the depths of the change that is going to take place in my ego from just being exposed to this material. So thanks for going on the journey with me. I hope to see you again along the path very soon, and until I do, oneness in sound, I am OnenO. Peace.